What's up, everybody? Welcome back. I'm Patrick B. Smith. We are back at another edition of A Word from President Pat podcast. Today's topic is one of the ones I know it's going to be a breeze because it's something we all do it. Never chase after a relationship. Let me tell you why. Because it really does blind you in a lot of ways of obvious things that are happening in your life that you're just bypassing because you're so focused on chasing a relationship that A, probably has expired, B, that is super toxic to you, or C, that is not being reciprocated. So there's a lot of reasons why you should not chase a relationship. And there's other reasons, but for me, I think it's important to talk about it because if you don't talk about certain things and identify if it relates to something that you're doing, then you could miss that. A lot of times we do get broken. Well, we do have our hearts broken, or we get our feelings hurt, or we're upset or disappointed in friends and relationships because we're expecting certain things that people are just not capable of giving us, or we're just accepting the bare minimum and we're giving the absolute best. And so it has to be a point in your life where you have to be able to function on a even balanced tile. Because if you are constantly lifting someone or constantly carrying someone, at some point you need a break. At some point you need to be able to relax and breathe. And what happens is when you're chasing somebody who don't want to be around, or chasing somebody who comes and go out of your life, or chasing somebody who's not putting enough effort that you're expecting, then I think you just need to let that tug of war go and just be free. Because you should never have to work that hard for a relationship. If it's authentic, if it's real, if it's meant to be, if they want to be there, they will be there and it would not be this hard. And I know it's hard because, listen, we're in a time where just having somebody is enough because it's hard out here, and when people get lonely and life is stressful. So I get it. I get the fact that we are starting to settle, but what we're doing is we're settling for people, and we're also just so far behind of being equally reciprocated in situations that we're just carrying people, or we are letting people step all over us and we're just constantly chasing them. Or we've had a moment with them where we've been great and you've had great times, but they've changed so drastically in such a way that affects you, you're chasing that old feeling again when it's probably over. So it's just truly something I wanted to talk about because I think I still do that in certain situations, because for me, I love to create a safe and enjoyable village around me, because the real world is full of people who are very vicious, malicious, and nasty. And so it's just great to be surrounded by people you trust and people that you love. But there's a lot of snakes in the grass sometimes, so you really have to be mindful and careful about that. But listen, I'm not here to tell nobody what to do with themselves, but let me tell you, Patrick, I've been talking to myself at this point. I never chase people. I used to do that. I really did, because I really felt like I don't want people to get the wrong impression of me. I want to fix something that maybe I made a mistake on. But you have to understand the difference in trying to make something work that may have been broken for a little bit, or you're constantly repairing something that refuses to work properly. So either way, it's a real thing. And if you're chasing somebody, I need you to stop, because nobody is that important in your life other than you. And if anybody is to be chased, it's the person that is giving more than they're receiving. Facts of life. So my support and attentive game are strong. However, my disregarding you and I don't even see you game is even stronger. When someone is showing you that they do not have time for you, just give them space. There's no reason why you should have to continue to make yourself available for people who do not make the time for you. This is also truly not a big deal. It does not mean we're upset or we're in our feelings at all. It just means you have to admit that some people are just not your people, or some people are wanting you to chase them and kiss their ass. Never do that. If you bring positivity in someone's life, financial help, support, or even love, then that right there shows that you're in the positive lead and you're the guidance of that relationship. You're not a follower and you are definitely not a chaser. Respect your position and know what you bring to any relationship. That's first. Second of all of that is recognizing where something is not feeling like you're taking on more of a burden than the other person. And this is a relationship for any type: friends, family, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, coworker. Everything should be where if we're sharing something, if we're together in this business, if we're equally a part of something as a plan, I need us both to be present. I need us both to be doing our parts. Now, there are times where maybe sometimes I may be struggling in a way and I may have hard times and I may not be able to give my best. And that's a temporary moment that the partner or your friend or whoever you're with should understand, because you guys are in a committed relationship, whether it is a partnership or a marriage or a relationship. It's just you guys are on the same page, trying to accomplish the same thing, being happy, being successful. So understandably, when one person needs a moment, the other person can help and carry that for a temporary moment. However, it is not a permanent position for you to continue to carry someone's burden, to constantly have to build them to understand that they're supposed to be in this with you together equally. So why it becomes very important to understand situations like that is because that's where the chase begins. It begins when you don't hold people accountable for how they're treating you, for them putting you in positions where you have to put in extra work. And it has to be a point where we stop feeling like we are nagging or we are complaining or we're bitching because we want what's right. We want what we respectfully deserve because we're expecting it, because we're giving it. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think we've watered down what we believe and how we feel because we're trying to what? Impress somebody, please somebody, not upset somebody. There's another form of chasing. Like, okay, I can't say this because I don't want to upset you, or I'm going to calm down and be quiet until you calm down. It's like, listen, whatever this is, it's a heated discussion, it's an argument, it's whatever it is, we both need to clear this air, and you need to handle yourself, your actions, and be accountable like I'll do mine. There's no reason why we have to step down, bow down, back up for other people so they can get themselves together. We're all supposed to be equally in this thing. And if I am trying to be the bigger person every single time, then that's a situation that I have to start to walk away from, because we can't be accepting that people can snap and go off and up and leave you and come back when they want to, and accept that. But what happens when we need this? What happens when we want to step away and get away for a little bit and be mad and go off? You know, they're calling us crazy. They don't want to talk to you. They holding grudges. It's like, wow. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of times that we just are so blinded by relationships because we are so consumed with being with them and having them in our lives that we have definitely watered down the value of who we are. And it's a sad thing, but I think talking about it or hearing somebody talk about it really should wake up the pride in you and understand that you are worth whatever you can accomplish, whatever you put into making you the person you are today, whatever you are contributing out of your time, your hard work, your money. You should have some respect about that, and you should make sure that people are respecting that. So I don't feel that when if someone does you wrong and you cut them off or you don't want to talk to them, you have every right to do that. You know, that is the accountability. That is the consequence that people need to understand, that you don't get to treat someone a certain way and not have them make a reaction about it, and you can't tell them how to react. You know, people just will literally gaslight the hell out of you if you let them. Because sometimes people don't know how to deal with their own feelings. And so what they'll do is they'll hope and pray that you don't recognize something and you get over it so they don't have to face and accept what they did or offer you an apology or come back this time and be the first one to be the bigger person. Nope, because they know that you gonna do that. So as long as I don't have to deal with that, as long as I don't have to sit in my shame, as long as I don't have to regret the things I did, as long as I don't have to say I'm sorry to this person, they're gonna just keep doing that because they know you gonna come back. They know you gonna cave. They know you won't stay mad forever. And that is the issue. And that's something, honestly, I am terrible at. I am horrible at that because I don't like holding grudges. They're so draining. You know what I mean? They're draining and I can't function because I am true to who I am to my people. I love my people. I am here for them because I would expect them to be there for me, but I can only live for me and understand what my value and my place is to everybody in my life. So I really try to give authentically everything I can to every relationship that I have. So when I start to feel that there's moments where I am always the one trying and reaching out and stopping what I'm doing and all this. And then whenever there's a moment I want something in return, I don't get it. It's like, yes, this is crazy because what I'm going to do is open that door to letting people know that it goes one way and that's it. The door doesn't open and shut. It just opens and here everybody comes in walking on me, that dumb ass rug. So truly break down sometimes how you look on the outside to yourself. And though it sounds like, oh, look at me, I'm a stupid doormat. They're walking all over me. Look at me, I'm chasing this damn fool after they did me wrong like a dumb ass puppy. And I hear that about myself and I see how I look and I start to think, okay, that is you. Then I got to start checking myself. And then you'll start seeing me adjusting myself and start to not be the one to reach out all the time, not be the one to keep constantly trying to make a relationship work when it's broken. So then obviously people start to get a little uneasy. It's like, whoa. Looking behind them. Well, where are they at? They're not chasing me. They're not trying to, So now that they have left your ass and they're not chasing you, what you gonna do now? Try to come back and no. And that's where you need to get your power. You need to not let that back because if somebody that you've been chasing and you finally decide to stop chasing them and you're backing away and now they're coming back, knock, stop knocking. Don't come knocking at my door. No, it don't work like that. Time's too fucking hard. We got 2 people in our election that we are split. We don't know what the hell we gonna do. It's bigger things in the world to worry about than somebody who don't want to be in my life or your life. For real. Ain't nobody got time for that. I don't care how long you knew them. I don't care how much you think they cute. I don't care because they don't care. If somebody is not in a position to want to be in your life, if y'all butt heads, if y'all have an argument, if y'all can't come together equally and you're always the one trying to fix it, that is not how it works. Stop letting that happen because people need to be accountable. People need to be grateful because what's going to start happening is people are going to start recognizing what's more important in their lives. And a lot of these relationships are already toxic enough, stressful enough. That's what's going to start being the first thing we cut off. And then, people are going to start getting in those moments where they're not getting that dependence that they need. And now they're looking around like, oh shit, now what I do? It's like, figure that shit out, Many times communication plays a huge role in relationship issues. Many people assume things without taking the time to even ask you directly. We can be friends, relative, lovers for many years, and you still should communicate if you have a problem. Assuming that what's something going on in someone's head, that is the first definitely dose of problems because people change. People grow, and just because you remember their reaction yesterday or the day before doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be reaction today. And that's a lot of times where you just got to let people show up and make a decision on what we want to do from here. And why I say you shouldn't truly chase people is sometimes they are leading you backwards. And so you really have to be mindful on what you are trying to accomplish in your own life first, even before you take on any other relationship. And people just tend to go with the flow. I'll deal with it another day. Give me some time. I'll finally get over it. And it's kind of like, you stalling, boo. You are stalling. Don't stall. Just understand what it is for what it is and let that shit be. Period. You deserve better than that. Everybody does. Don't feel bad for any person that you have to chase, because if somebody is being chased, what are they actually doing? Running from your ass. Don't do it. Let them go, and they'll slow their ass down one day and realize what they left behind on that part. Yeah, and it really had to take me the time to see myself in that way of realizing sometimes when relationships were not healthy for me, when maybe I wasn't getting the same thing I was giving to somebody, and I was just kind of trying to hurry and keep continuing the relationship until they finally saw it. It's like, hey, hi, I'm here. And they're just, looking around you, but yeah, you're just still trying to make it work. It's those times where you have to be able to understand that sometimes you, in your mind, feel like you're the person for someone, or you're bringing something to someone's life and they should be blessed or happy or grateful. But truly, sometimes people don't recognize what they have. And you just can't keep rewarding people for things when they're not grateful. It's just the fact of life. And you don't need to have those feelings of, I feel bad or I don't want them to. It's like, why do you have to live their life for them? Let them understand what they're doing. Let them recognize what's happening and let them make their own decision and let them fix their own problems. Because what you're doing is you're enabling them, and you're also giving them several passes for things that they may not recognize because you're so busy ignoring them on your side and just letting things slide. So I just told myself the other day about the whole concept of chasing someone, because when you are aiming for something and you're moving forward and you still are going back trying to, fix this relationship that's broken, or trying to go back and help people who don't want to move forward, it's just like, dude, you are stalling your life for somebody who don't even want to be in yours. And it's the truth. And people are going to gaslight the hell out of you, because they're going to be like, oh, no, I wasn't doing this. Like, listen, I didn't get this feeling for nothing. So what we're not going to do is disregard why I'm even feeling like this because of you. And secondly, don't you try to sweep it under the rug and make me seem like I'm crazy. And so everything in life, y'all, is just truly about being honest with yourself and truly understanding how to make yourself happy and be at peace. Don't try to live for other people, because again, they ain't gonna do that for you. Don't try to consider that, well, I don't want to hurt their feelings, because you know what? They don't care about yours. Because if they did, this situation of you're trying to constantly fix it and chase them and make them see you and make them want to be around you, or looking out for attention from them, wouldn't be an issue, because it would be something that you're already getting. Truth. And so the only way that people will start to appreciate you in that matter is you just start standing your own ground and living your life and moving in the way you should be. And if you and that person are moving in the same direction, then y'all will be happy together on the same path. But if you are constantly having to stop what you're doing to go back, then listen, that person's holding you back. And anything after you recognize how they're holding you back If they are trying to gaslight you to make you feel bad for you recognizing that, then you need to stop right there and let that ass go, because that is another sign of disrespect, and it's another sign of them not caring about your future when you're clearly telling them that you are holding me back because you don't want to move forward with me. So every time I come back trying to work this out with you, every time I come back trying to reach out to you, you are slowing me down. So either you get on this plan with me and we get this right, or I'm gonna have to let you go. And don't try to make me feel bad. Oh, you just gonna leave? I am. I'm done. And so you should feel at peace with that, because if you're constantly giving extra, trying to slow down for somebody, that's a burden off you. And you guess whose loss that is? Oh boy, oh girl, back there, the one that thought you're gonna chase them again. We ain't doing that no more. Not in 2024, and certainly not in 2025. So I'll tell anybody out there that is watching or listening, and or whoever this relates to, anybody in your life right now that don't want to be with you, that is constantly breaking your heart, constantly letting you down, and that is draining you to the point where you can't focus, that is an awakening in your life that you need to let their asses go. Cry your tears or whatever you do right now, and then get out of there, because the only reason why you're so hurt is because you know your heart and your intentions are good, and you're trying to genuinely give somebody something that don't want it from you. And just understand that gift you have and take it on to somebody who's going to appreciate it. Let that boy or that girl worry about that shit on their own. On God. I just wanted to kind of get that out because I have been a chaser, and I know I got so many great things in my life coming up, and I also know just even in my life, the value I bring into my life and other people's life. And I don't at all regret any of my decisions, and I don't want to start now. So best of luck to y'all out there. Just look around, see what's happening around you, and make a decision that best fits you and nobody else. Period. Until next time, I appreciate y'all watching another episode of President Pat Podcast.